What's up, 12s? So draft night is come and gone, and Seahawks had 9 picks, and we're going to go over each one of them, and we're going to end up giving a grade on how we thought they did overall on the draft as a whole. We're also going to talk about what didn't get addressed, where we feel like they should go from there, and also the schedule drop. So, we're going to go over each of the games, kind of give our predictions for that, and how we think that they're going to do this year. So, without further ado, throw it over to my co-host, Doug. Doug, let's get into it, man. Draft weekend, draft night. Hawks had 9 picks. Let's do it.
Yeah, 9 picks. And the first selection, first round, 9th overall pick, selected Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State. I'll give my thoughts, but first let me hear from you what you thought of Charles Cross with the 9th overall selection.
Oh, dude, I love this pick. I was saying in our first podcast episode how I wanted them to go with the left tackle here. That was our biggest need, I felt like, and they addressed it. And not only did they address it, they got, in my opinion, the best pass blocker in the draft and arguably the best offensive lineman in the draft. Best left tackle, in my opinion. So last season, he had at Mississippi State, which is in the SEC, that's arguably the best conference in college football. So he had 719 pass block snaps. And in those 719 pass block snaps, he only gave up 2 sacks and did not allow a single QB hit. He gave up 16 pressures and 2 sacks on 719 pass block snaps. That's ridiculous. Going in the SEC against some of the best defensive linemen in college football. Oh, I love this pick, man. I'm so stoked. But man, I mean, he's a big dude. I think he's like 6'5", man. But yeah, I mean, we got a
6'5", 307.
Yeah, he's hopefully got a franchise left tackle, man. Like I love this pick, man. You can really build around that pick really well. So, I mean, I don't know how'd you feel about it?
I loved it as in, it was rumored that Seattle might, trade up. And from what I heard, they wanted to trade up because they felt like Charles Cross wasn't going to be there, but they stood their ground. They stood there and, essentially he fell to them, the 9th overall pick. And, they got a bookend tackle, somebody that they can, plug and play and can start, right away and, can be now, and they can get him for 5 years now,
yeah. Like Pete Carroll even said in his interview, like, yeah, we didn't think we were going to get him. We thought we'd have to trade up. So yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. They did say they were going to trade up.
Him essentially falling, to the 9th overall pick, and we were able to get, our guy on, who we wanted. Is there a thing where he ran a very, pass heavy offense in college in Mike Leake system? There's knock on, his run ability. Just because you don't do it doesn't mean you can't do it, and I do feel like he will transition well. Seattle's been able to, work with their offensive linemen and get him transition. But, I feel like, to just finally get a young left tackle that we can, mold and get there for our future. It was good to see them actually address that need. They didn't get cute with it. They didn't, do something as in the traditional, Seahawks first round and, just go somewhere way out of left field. No, they went with their need and they addressed it.
Dude, there was reports coming out we might take a quarterback there or something. I'm so glad we didn't do that because I'm not sold. I said it before. I'm not sold on any of the QBs in this draft. So, I was like, if they got an offensive tackle, that would have made me happiest. I mean, there was some good defensive ends that they could have got, but I felt like offensive tackle was a bigger need. So if they would have got, if a good defensive end, would have fallen to them, I would have been too mad. But I love this pick, dude. Like we got what I felt we needed the most.
Yeah, so. Most definitely. I feel like it was a real big need that Seattle addressed, and they made a smart selection. So second round, Seahawks had 2 picks. Second round, 8th overall pick, Boye Mafe, Minnesota, edge rusher. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I mean, I just said it like 10 seconds ago. Our other big need was pass rushing, defensive ends, So I'm glad that they addressed pretty arguably our two biggest needs right away. Boye Mafe, in 12 games last year, he had 42 pressures, 7 sacks, 34 tackles, 10 of them for a loss. I was hoping we would get I'm going to say this name wrong, Ebiketie from Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I said that right, because he went like one
Arnold
or two picks
Ebiketie,
yeah. But yeah, I thought he would have been a good. But I mean, the more I looked into this, I'm real happy we got Boye Mafe. His athleticism is really good. He's raw. He's got a lot of potential, high ceiling. But yeah, I mean, we needed a pass rusher, and I feel like we got a really good one. So I'm excited to see not only how he does his first year, but how he develops, over the course of the next couple years. And, you look at Darrell Taylor and how much he's improved each year, his sack count. Now he's, our best defensive end. I'm excited to see his jump next year too, and how, they work off of each other on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I thought it was a great pick. What about you?
I definitely enjoyed the pick. Watching him in Minnesota, he's very fast off the edge. He can get off that edge very fast. He can bend. He got this nice this club move that he can get around players. His kind of knock is sometimes he takes that step back before he gets off the edge, which playing in the NFL, you need to get off quick. That edge, next thing you know, you're trying to get off. Your tackle's getting into you. When you're getting bumped off your spot, you're not getting to the quarterback. But Clint Hurt, was our former defensive line coach. He's our defensive coordinator now. He'll work with them. They brought in I'm blanking on his name. They brought in the edge, and Boye Mafe will be a situational pass rusher. Will come in, he'll switch in and out, so he'll have room to Nwosu, that's who it was. They brought in Nwosu. Nwosu will probably start on the other side of Taylor. So he'll come in and he'll be able to, basically, hone his craft and come into the NFL and work it, but to have a very, good high ceiling, high motor edge, another young edge, because, typically Seattle, is, the last few years of just, throwing some old vets in there and everything. And, the fact that they're just getting younger and bringing that presence in and that speed off the edge.
I mean, yeah,
it was good to see.
Never bad, especially for Seattle, man, with their history of injuries and stuff. You want depth everywhere you can get it. Having good depth at that edge rushing position is huge.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. And here's a little surprise pick. Their second overall or their 9th overall. In the second round, their second of the 2 second rounds.
I thought it was 10th overall.
No, 9. 8 and 9.
No.
They selected.
It was back to back, wasn't it?
Yeah, they select Kenneth Walker, running back out of Michigan State. Did you feel like that was a thing that they were going to do? Get a running back?
At the time when they did it, I didn't think they were going to do that, and I didn't think that we needed it until I started hearing the reports coming out that Chris Carson not only might not be ready to go at the start of the season, but he might not be able to play again. His neck injury could be worse than they thought. So that being said, I thought it was a great pick, especially, Rashad Penny, his injury history and, trying to stay healthy. It takes a lot of the load off him. If you have another back that can shoulder that load for you, give us some, and we always need depth there. We've had seasons where we were late in the season down to our, 4th string running back, so I thought it was actually a really good pick, and we got a really good running back. Kenneth Walker, he was very impressive in college. But yeah, man, I feel like he's going to do really well in our system. We love to run the football. We went and got some good offensive linemen. So, yeah, man, I thought it was a good pick. Initially, I didn't until, I found out that, Carson might not be able to play. Now I was like, okay, that has suddenly become a very big need for us at running back. So, yep, we're 3 for 3 at this point, in my opinion.
No, I feel like a lot of people, think in the second round with the needs that we had was, getting another running back, a smart thing. It was a Pete Carroll move, to them, to get a running back because we didn't, we had Carson and we had just signed Penny. But I feel like with Carson's injury history, Penny's injury history, his lack of being on the field, yes, did he end the year last year on a big note? Yes. But we got, Dallas and Homer, but are they the guy? We've seen them try to be the guy. Are they not the guy? Or are you going to get arguably the best running back in this draft? And Pete,
second one taken. So
yeah,
I mean,
arguable. Yeah, he won an award for the best running back.
That's running back.
So,
yeah.
And for a team that is unclear on their quarterback and their quarterback position, and a head coach that loves to run in the ball, I don't feel like it was a big surprise. I don't feel like it was a reach or a bad selection at all. Penny's on a 1-year deal. Carson's deal will expire. So if Penny can't stay healthy and Carson can't ever play, then you're going to go in next year's draft, needing a running back anyway, and Pete wants to retool. He wants to be one step ahead. So I don't feel like it was a bad selection. I actually enjoyed the selection. I feel like, we are, being a run heavy team and trying to just, it's trying to just go out there and be like
a run heavy team with a history of a lot of injuries at running back.
Yeah, with injury prone running backs, and
our running backs get beat up, man, because they run so much.
Yeah, one thing about Kenneth Walker is he'll be on the field. So no, it wasn't a bad selection. I enjoyed the selection at all. I know a lot of people weren't, too happy about, the second round running back for Seattle when they had so many other needs. But, I felt like it was a very good selection. So we'll go to the third round, 8th overall. They select Abraham Lucas, offense tackle, Washington State, double dipped at tackle. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I loved it, man. We got, to use your reference from earlier, we got a bookend on the other end now too. So, we got our bookends in place. Abraham Lucas, real close to home. He grew up a Seahawks fan, and he went to high school around here. So it's really cool.
Everett, Washington.
Just off that story alone. Went to Wazoo. He had over 3,000 snaps at tackle for Wazoo, and in those 3,000 plus snaps, only gave up 4 sacks, 6 QB hits, and 39 QB hurries in 4 years and 3,000 plus snaps. Like, that is incredibly impressive. So we got another young, potentially franchise tackle to put on the other side of Charles Cross. I love this pick. Like, we addressed major needs in the first 3 rounds, and we got a big, talented tackle in Abraham Lucas. So I'm very excited to see how he does, especially going against all the amazing pass rushers that we unfortunately have to face twice a year in our division. So yeah, man, I thought it was great. What were your thoughts on that pick?
I actually wasn't surprised that Seattle double dipped at tackle. The last 2 mock drafts I did before the draft, I actually didn't pick a QB in the draft and went and double dipped of offensive tackles. Because look, you're going in the draft and you have a fifth or sixth rounder in Stone Forsythe. I think it was a 5th rounder,
6th rounder, wasn't it?
And then an undrafted rookie in Jake Curran. Jake Curran played situationally in certain games, and that he had to fill, and he didn't play too bad. But you want to go in and you want to add competition, and you want to try to get, great talent in this draft. So I wasn't surprised about it. I actually I wouldn't say I called it, but, I wasn't surprised. So it wasn't surprising to me. I love the pick. I love him, big dude. And I feel like he'll come in and he'll definitely push Jake Curhan and fight for that right tackle spot.
Yeah.
So going further, Seattle did not, or they did actually have a 4th round pick. I don't know why I keep forgetting they had a 4th round.
Yeah.
4th round, Kobe Bryant, cornerback, Cincinnati, Jim Thorpe Award winner. What are your thoughts?
Oh, dude, I love this pick because when we talked about needs, defensive back was one of them, cornerback. And can I just say, not that I love this pick, I love this dude's name, Kobe Bryant, and he's wearing number 8, to honor Kobe. Like, that's so dope. But yeah, you said a Jim Thorpe Award winner, which goes to the best defensive back in college. He played at Cincinnati, which was a college football playoff team. So, he was, one of the starting defensive backs on one of the 4 best teams in college football. And he was opposite of one of the top 3 or 4. When did he get drafted? Was it the 4th pick that his teammate got drafted to?
Sauce Gardner?
Yeah, Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
He was like 3rd or 4th because
Mm-hmm.
Stingley went before him, I think. Yeah, I think he was 4th. But yeah, he played on the opposite side of him. And yeah, I just thought that was a great pick. I thought he was the best one available at that spot. I was surprised that he slid down that far. But yeah, man, I mean, it's a great pick for us because it's kind of like when we got Trey Brown last year, and he had like the best coverage grade in college football last year, and he still slid to like the 4th round or whatever we got him at. And I was like, I don't know why these dudes are falling so far, but I'm glad they fell to us because I feel like this dude's going to be a big piece for our defense. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah, I love that Seattle decided to go with a need and get a proven quality player, someone that could push into, be a starter, and definitely, make a name for himself. So in the 5th round, 10th overall, they selected double dipped again. Seattle double dipped a lot in this draft.
Yeah,
Tyreek Woolen, corner out of Texas San Antonio, big corner, converted to corner, very fast. Give me your thoughts.
So this might be the pick that I'm most excited about because I didn't initially know much about him when they drafted him, but after they did draft him, I started doing my research. I mean, he ran a 4.26 40, which is tied for the 3rd fastest all time, and it's the fastest by a player over 6 feet tall. He's 6'4". He had a 42-inch vertical leap. Like I said, he's 6'4", and I mean, the last time we had a cornerback remotely like that was Richard Sherman. He wasn't that fast, but he was big. And also, Richard Sherman was a wide receiver in college at Stanford, converted to cornerback, and we've seen how that worked out. So I'm excited to see how he does and how he develops, and what he brings us, especially with that size and athleticism. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, I love this pick. It's probably the one I'm most intrigued or most curious to see how it plays out, just because I mean a 4.26 at 6'4", 42-inch vertical, that's insane, dude. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this pick. I love this pick, man. And I all the picks so far, man, I have absolutely loved. I felt like we addressed major needs and we addressed them in a major way. We got players that to be honest, I'm surprised that they had fallen that far in the draft. So, yeah.
Yeah,
what about you?
Definitely had, some 3rd round, 4th round buzz. We got him in the 5th round. It's definitely a good value pick. A corner that you can, just work with him and get everything ready for him in the future and everything. I like the pick. I like double down in corner. Anytime you have a need and you can double down on it, just betters your odds of being able to help with that need.
You said 3rd or 4th round buzz, but I mean, that's 1st round athleticism. If you ask me, 1st round size, 1st round athleticism. I mean, I think it's just because he doesn't have a lot of experience at cornerback because they converted him, like otherwise he probably would have been a top 10 pick, if he had some time there to really develop. So, yeah.
Yep. So moving on, 5th round, 15th pick, double dipped again. Tyreek Smith, edge rusher, Ohio State. What's
Oh,
your
I mean,
thoughts?
well, I mean, I love getting depth at defensive end, and they say Ohio State is defensive end university or whatever. There's so many great pass rushers that have come out of there. Chase Young, Nick Bosa. I mean, just so many great players come out of there. But yeah, I'm actually don't know much about him, but he's coming from a good program that does a great job at developing defensive ends and pass rushers. So I'm really hoping that this is a big steal for us in the draft, and that he can come in and kind of wreak some havoc on that defensive line and help us get some pressure on that QB. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't mad about the pick at all. I mean, 5th round, you get a pass rusher. I thought it was a solid pick. I mean, I kind of
A very twitched up edge rusher. He's
yeah.
got a lot of experience there. He played at Ohio State, played behind a lot of good pro athletes. In Ohio, at being at Ohio State. So
Yeah, I mean, I thought they could have got a linebacker at this point, but we can get into that later. But I mean, still, it's not a bad pick. It's still a need of ours, and I mean, he still could turn out to be a really good player. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
all right, Seattle didn't actually have a 6th round pick, so I got that one right.
Yeah,
But double dipping again, they selected 7th round 2 wide receivers.
mm-hmm.
One, Bo Melton out of Rutgers, and Derek Young out of Lenoir-Rhyne. So let me give you your thoughts on the 2 wide receivers that they drafted in the 7th round.
So Bo Melton out of Rutgers, I believe he ran a 4.34 40 time, which is just a hair slower than DK Metcalf's, but it's still incredibly fast. I always loved those speedsters, and they got Marquise Goodwin also. They signed him, who's a very fast wide receiver, so I was excited about that as well. So Derek Young, I was actually pretty intrigued, I'll say, the more I read about this pick. I mean, I'll never really be mad about a 7th round pick. You're picking so late in the draft.
Flyer pick, you go off athleticism.
Yeah,
someone that can stick.
And I mean, I don't know too much what his measurables were, but Derek Young, he played a bit of running back and special
6'3", 220, so he's a big body receiver.
No, yeah, but he played a bit of running back and special teams in college. So even if you don't put him at receiver, you could have him returning punts or kicks.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a lot of jet sweeps with him. Or with our history of injuries at running back, maybe you could stick him back there if, something happens and, you need him to come out there for a couple plays. But
yeah, definitely one of those wide receivers you can put on, special teams. He can return. You can see what you get out of him. The athleticism is there, speed's there. They like those gadget guys. Those guys
he's a Swiss Army knife, man. He can do so much for
Seattle. Pete and John, they love those guys. So picking up the 7th round, he went to a Division II school. People are going to be like, oh, is he going to be able to make it? But you throw him out there, you see what you have. It's a 7th round pick. You're not going to lose anything.
Went to a D2 school, he's going to be able to make it. I mean, he did make it. He got drafted by an NFL franchise, 7th round. So, I mean, what's he going to do with that opportunity? But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for all these guys, man. It's a lifelong dream coming true for a lot of these guys. And, they're coming to a really, really good franchise that I love. So I'm excited to see what they do to help us win, man.